know none of that, boy.
What?
You ain't know none of that, boy. You know it, boy.
Alright, what?
You ain't say it, did you? You ain't say it. You ain't say it.
Migos out here fighting this shit? Not Quavo! Not Quavo!
Yo, what up, world? It's neighborhood hero J Loco, and we back here with another one, man. By popular demand. Now, I'm gonna let you know right now, man. A lot of these beef videos is gonna be like centered, like kinda around like Chief Keef. You feel me? Because you know, it's just around this time period. It's like he was beefing with everybody. You feel me? Everybody wanted a piece of the action. Pause. It's like Sosa was offending everyone. You feel me? He ain't care who he offended. Feel me? It was just some young wild dudes coming out of Chicago, and they was the most litest thing. I keep saying he was the 50 Cent of his generation, so you know he had to go to war with everybody. But without further ado, man, this the Glory Boys versus Migos.
Fight!
Then I hear there's, you go out to Chicago and you're, instigating situations that, could turn dangerous.
No, we didn't really instigate. We was just letting the fans know we here and it ain't, and we rock with y'all. When we was in Chicago, we was just saying we rock with y'all. We here, we in Chicago. It wasn't no hurt, harm, or danger. You know what I'm saying? So.
But most artists are very afraid of Chief Keef.
We ain't most artists.
So, often within our communities, we find ourselves beefing over petty misunderstandings. And instead of talking about it like humans, we war about it like savages. And before you know it, the issue spreads out of control like a wildfire to the point where you forget what you was even beefing about in the first place. Now, the origins of this beef would be no different because this started in straight ignorance and nonsense. So in late 2013, the Migos is on fire after securing a verse from Drake on the Versace remix. They're the hottest young things out right now, you feel me? They got the wave, they started to flow, and they dropped a bunch of hits. Y'all know Bando, Hannah Montana, all that good stuff. But they will end up dropping this song called Broken Knees. Which Offset made a line referring to, his diamonds looking like KK. Now, as we all know, Chief Keef had the infamous song KK, you feel me, one of his classics. And I guess he thought that they was talking about him. But if you read between the lines, you'll realize like what Offset was really trying to say was his diamonds shining like, the KKK. White, like it's white, you feel me? And it was just one big misunderstanding, but before they could clear that up, a lot of things would transpire. During this back and forth, Offset would tell Sosa that he gonna be in Chicago and that he should pull up. So Sosa, he dropped a track called Pull Up, in which the Migos would respond with jealousy.
I ain't never did a sneak diss. Call my hitman quick to put you on the hit list. I just heard the ops pulling up. We ready to fire them pussies up. Nigga, you saying we dissing? Mistletoe chopper, them bullets come kissing. Don't enter Atlanta without no permission. Leave them stinking like chitlins. We been in a lot of bullet wars. And we done bought a lot of bullets.
Let's talk about jealousy. That song is fire. Y'all came with the heat though, like completely out of the blue. It's like niggas didn't really know if y'all were gonna respond or not, or like people are tweeting on Twitter and doing all that Instagram, social media bullshit. Kind of talk to me like what's going on with that? Like nobody really knows how that all started with Chief Keef. Like
the song says it's jealousy, obviously. The shoe fit.
And we don't sneak this, we don't do no sneak this, and so if we got a problem, just pull up on us. And we do pull up, so.
Every radio station, we in your city.
No disrespect to Chicago. We love Chicago. Love all my niggas in Chirac. I got niggas in Chirac, so it just, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess it's jealousy, so.
I mean, we just woke up and that day somebody called my phone. My boy called my phone from the north side and said, "Hey, you see this on Twitter? What going?" I was like, "Nah, what going on?" Keef just dished all and said we something like sneak dissing or something like that. So we, soon as I got off the phone, I looked at it and shit got down. That was it.
For the record, we have never sneaked this.
Never
if
ever
it's
did a
ever
So
a problem.
I guess it was just some hand shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
So you guys never worked. I thought you worked with Chief Keef before. I thought y'all was cool.
I mean, we saw him one time at the Gucci Darker video shoot. We met him one time, said what's up. We went out several ways. We didn't kick it, didn't smoke no blunts, didn't do nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So for him to feel that type of way, I guess he goddamn mad or something at somebody.
Maybe he just misinterpreted some of your lyrics somewhere along the lines.
Must have been somewhere.
Yeah.
Because now, when you say you can't come to Chicago now, and these guys got shows in Chicago.
That's real. Yeah, that's real.
And I'm sure he got a show in Atlanta some way, somehow.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of trouble. But so nobody squashed it as of yet. It's just, just whatever it is, what it is.
We fought with the shot too, man.
With Chicago,
we know real niggas in
good in
Chicago.
Chicago.
As a matter of fact, we going to
We
Chicago
good in
next week.
Chicago.
Y'all going on the 21st of December.
Yeah, we going.
Yeah.
Going to get that bread. Ain't nobody gonna run us out.
No.
We ain't worry about none of that.
Enough said.
Salute Chicago, man. We getting money, man.
Now it's early January 2014. New Year's just passed, but it's the same old bullshit. Migos will make good on their promise to come to the rack, and they recorded the whole trip on their now infamous Chirac vlog. While they was in Chicago, they was actually rotating with like Sosa's ops. Well, his former friends turned enemies. You feel me? And we gonna get, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video for another day. But long story short, a lot of us rappers that we love grew up in the crab and barrel environment, so once Sosa got on, some of his old friends started beef with him for one or another reason. He ain't give no money to bail out, basically because he ain't bail out certain guys. Basically, that's the reason why these dudes from O Block was beefing with him. That's the same reason why Dirk was beefing with him. You feel me? So the Migos go to Chicago, do their show, and leave unscathed. But I can't say the same for when they would visit Miami a couple of months later.
The news station beginning with a party van coming under fire on I-95 and then creating a hazmat situation at a South Florida hospital. That party bus carrying members of a music group from Atlanta.
And at least one person on board took a bullet. Let's get right to Jackson Memorial Hospital where the shooting victim is being treated. 7's Adriana Hopkins is there live with the story. Adriana?
And this afternoon, we spoke with a hospital spokesperson who says none of the 3 people in this music group, Migos, are here in the hospital this afternoon. However, they were here this morning with that van full of people because one of the people in their entourage was shot in the leg during a shootout on the highway.
One of the Migos crew members, not named Quavo, Offset, or Takeoff, would catch a leg shot, while another crew member would fire back. Now, allegedly, according to the Migos manager, they fired back 45 shots. Now, I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what they say. You know what I mean? And, of course, right after the Migos would take to Twitter, I'm going to let you know right now, most of this war is fought on Twitter. You feel me? So, of course, they take it back to Twitter with Takeoff first tweeting. Tried to, the infamous Rick Ross lines when the GDs tried to get at him, tried to hit me up in traffic, but I had to work my magic. You feel me? With Quavo following up saying, wonder if I'm going to be on First 48. #nah. And, last but not least, Offset with the tweet, I was born to win, in all caps.
And the Connect 4 moves that's being made in the Lil Durk versus Chief Keef shade throwing contest, Lil Durk, he announced on Twitter that he got some new shit with none other than the 3 Migos, and that the video will be none other than shot in the place called Chirac. Now, if you guys didn't know, Chirac's Baphomet Chief Keef has ongoing problems with the 3 Migos, and he put out a restraining order against the Migos from entering Chirac. This is obviously a test to see who has the most clout in Chirac, because Lil Durk gives no fucks, and he says the Migos is coming here and we shooting a video here. This is the latest move in the shade throwing contest between Chief Keef and Lil Durk. Obviously, Lil Durk is telling Migos, nobody said you can't come to Chirac. Come to O-Block. And then, we all know Chief Keef said a while ago, Migos can't even come to Chicago, much less O-Block.
Durk and Sosa, you know, this is definitely a video I'm gonna have to make later. But, you know, Durk and Sosa got like a on and off again beef. Like, they like that couple that break up and make up and break up and make up and break up and make up. That's what that's the type of relationship that Chief Keef and Lil Durk has had since they came out. Now I believe it's to the point where they just broken up for good. You feel me? I don't think they're gonna make up again, but they broke up and made up for a good 10 years. So that's a whole nother video for another day. But Lil Durk would choose this as a great time to, you feel me, air out some of his grievances. And you know, Lil Reese, he kind of like caught in the middle because, you know, he cool with Chief Keef, but he cool with Durk too. You know, Durk is mans, but you know, he glory boys right now. So you feel me? So he rock with Durk and them and OTF and them, but he glory boys. And right now Migos going that glory boys. So you know, he kind of stuck in the middle, but you know, he still spoke his piece a little. Enter GB Capo. Now, with a name like Capo, you know, you gotta be able, you gotta stand on business. You feel me? You gotta be frontliner for the war. And, you know, to his credit, he did just that, you know. Now, Capo, he would choose to confront the Migos during their second trip to Chicago in a restaurant. And let's just say things ain't exactly go as planned.
You know none of that, boy.
What?
You ain't know none of that, boy. You know it, boy.
What?
You ain't say it, did you? You ain't say it. You ain't say it. You ain't say it.
Allegedly, you know, the Migos, they basically jumped him, feel me, or they swung on him in the restaurant. Of course, right after, you already know the number one place everyone is running to is Twitter. So you know, Capo would speak his piece, saying there was like 20 of them. They barely got any hits off. You know, they pussy. You know, take off, cause he the one that recorded the infamous footage. You feel me? He the one that recorded it, and you know, he spoke his piece saying that, nah, we just swung on him before I even start recording. He know what's up. He know what happened. You dig? And you know what they say. You feel me? That boy Fredo in the cut. Write in the comments what they say about Fredo being in the cut. You feel me? If you know, you know. But you know what they say about Fredo being in the cut. Write in the comments if you know what they say about Fredo being in the cut. You know, Fredo, he stays silent through most of this, but you know, once he's seen them, you know, once he's seen some physical altercation going down, you know, Fredo, he one of those dudes that he chill and stay quiet until it's time for action. So amongst the Twitter words and the raps, he was just quiet. He wasn't sweating it. But once some actual action happened and one of his homies got involved, you know, of course he gonna chime in. You know, this what he do. So he gets to you know, he joins the Twitter war. He starts going off. He starts going crazy on the Migos. Like, I remember this vividly. I remember parts of this beef, a lot of this beef. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot doing this research, that things that I didn't even know. But there's certain parts that I remember vividly, like it was yesterday, such as Capo being in the restaurant, the chain situation, which we're about to talk about in a little bit, and definitely this situation, you feel me, with Fredo going off on Twitter, threatening the Migos, saying that, you know, he killed people for fun and all that, and he don't mind doing the time, and y'all know how he get down. And you know, one of my favorite responses, the Migos had tweeted to him like, yo, niggas hard on the web, hashtag Peter Parker, in which Fredo would respond, I'm hard in real life too, check my field record. Now, that's exactly how you expect a Chirac savage, feel me, to respond. This will lead to the November 2014 show, where the Migos performed at Stadium nightclub in DC, in which one of the most infamous recordings and hip-hop history transpired.
Migos fighting this shit. This some bullshit. This is some ratchet shit. I ain't coming back. We ain't coming back to Sadie. Hey, no, not Migos. The Migos out here fighting this shit. The Migos out here fighting this shit. Not Quavo. Not Takeover. Not...
Now DC Savages, they even got a fucking song out about robbing the chain less than 48 hours after they got it. Goddamn, that's the first 48.
Now Offset wasn't with them at Stadium that night. I believe he was locked up at the time for a probation violation or something like that. But, you know, long story short, they would say Quavo will end up, you know, he'll be leaking blood and, you know, he got relieved of his chain duties that night. Now, of course, the chain would go on what DJ Academics would call a greasy neck tour. And, you know, Offset tried to save face afterwards, you know, saying Boss Top, you know, he still had Sosa chain and, you know, maybe Offset wasn't locked up. Maybe he wasn't locked up, or maybe he had someone tweet this. I'm not sure, but he wasn't there at the perform. I don't know why he wasn't there that night. You feel me? But, you know, he would try to save face afterwards. But one thing he would say that was, you know, really important is that, you know, money wins every war. Now, first, people were saying it was Fat Trell and his crew that was responsible for, you know, jumping Migos for the chain or whatever. Because as you've seen, if you ain't watched the last video about the Shock Lizzy and Chief Keef beef, you know, Sosa was real cool with Fat Trell around this time. He was rotating with Fat Trell. So people believe that, you know, him and the Slutty Boys, like his crew, was responsible for that. But it actually wasn't Fat Trell. It was some people that Fat Trell was linked to, was cool with though. It ended up being by some dude they called Pablo and some other dude that go by the name of Big Donna.
Shout out, man. This is my legacy crew. If you want me to keep it all the way 100, he sell me my guns. If you want me to keep it all the way 100, this is my gun man, nigga. He in charge of the 50 clips and the 30 clips and the 100 clips. If you want me to keep it all the way, we gonna keep it all the way 100, nigga. We might as well keep this shit all the way 100.
And the crazy part is these dudes would do a whole interview, like, you feel me, talking about basically the chain snatching. Like they was really trying to make a whole career off of this, you feel me? And I don't think it quite worked out for them, but they was close. They was close. And this crew, they was actually, now don't quote me on this, because I got this from Reddit. So any DC dudes that's in the, you feel me, is watching this video, correct me if I'm wrong. But I hear that these dudes is connected to Rich Shooters. You feel me? The same crew. If y'all heard of Q the Fool and, you know, DC Artists, his little gang, his little crew out there. I heard this crew was linked to the Rich Shooters. And they was, you know, basically the same crew that was responsible for, you feel me, relieving Rich Pablo Juan of some of his possessions. You feel me? Like, I heard this the same crew that got Migos and them back in the day. I guess they got a thing for getting at Atlanta dudes or something. I don't know. Now, Quavo will go on to release his song titled, you feel me, The Truth, you know, explaining basically in detail everything that happened that night.
Quavo can't handle the pressure, cause the world know that you got that QC pendant. Pressure. Look at him scared in the interview. Got him shaking out his britches.
Let me see amigo, I'ma reach my desert eagle, shooting everybody, black, white, Mexican people.
I understand, yeah. All right, but this is my proposition for y'all. Look, when you came up that motherfucking studio, that was one time I almost got killed.
Yeah.
I know that. So it's 5 other times that I almost got killed. And listen here, my blood brother, and I know who got the 3-piece. Fat Trail, he got that 3-piece chain.
We know who got that too. We know all that. We know that.
Jew got that. So the Jew got that chain or no?
We know who got that. We know.
You don't need to even do an interview on it. I actually liked this move. Now, he did the song, and in the song, he pretty much tells us every fucking thing we need to know about the robbery. He said, listen, and this is the lyrics. I'm quoting the lyrics from who I think is the Beyonce of the group, Quavo. He said, listen, can't handle the pressure? Because the world know you got that QC pendant. And the QC pendant, if you don't know, I got to ad-lib this. The QC pendant is the chain that got snatched from Migos. He said, Look at you, scared in an interview, got you scared out your britches. I'ma tell you how it went down. Nigga jumped off the stage and started walking through the crowd. I'm the last one walking through the door, so they took an opportunity to hit a lick now. One nigga tried to go and snatch it. I hit him in the head with a Hennessy bottle, broke the glasses. Then a nigga tried to grab my chain and ran to the left. But what type of real street nigga leave his partner by himself? This is this is some real deep poetry right here. Maya Angelou could have penned this shit. This is deep. Now, he then said, yeah, my chain gone, it's all good. I just re-upped and got a pot of gold. But don't think it's good though. You better hide in your spider hole. And then he also said, we know your address and we know your name. Now, in the intro, he did also mention something about Fat Trell, which I'm not sure if one of the guys, right, or one of the goons is snitching on Fat Trell or whatever the case is, but apparently the Migos got the bread on the case, which obviously you could tell this is going to end in somebody dying, right? The guy is saying that he almost got killed, or somebody said they almost got killed.
And you know, before it could get any more out of hand, a legendary OG from Atlanta, OG KK, basically king of the GDs in Georgia, feel me, he would step in on Offset behalf, because if y'all ain't know, you feel me, Offset, he GD, he a GD out of Atlanta though. You know, the GDs, they not just a Chicago thing. They started in Chicago, but they spread all throughout the Midwest. There's GDs all over Memphis, all over Georgia, and you feel me, I think St. Louis, they all over like the Midwest and kind of southern areas. Even Honeycomb Brazy was talking about how it was hella GDs in Alabama. You feel me? Like it was all GDs in his neighborhood before the Bloods came through. But he would basically put an end to the nonsense.
Let me address this shit. We gonna put this shit on World Star. Wherever it go. And shout out to anybody who got a problem with my little brother Offset, man. Like I say, bro, you got a problem with me. This ain't no Twitter, Instagram, social media shit, man. This real life shit, man. This real drama, man. My little brother Plug, and you know what I mean? Shout out to Quavo, shout out to Takeoff. Now y'all tweet that and say whatever y'all want to say, bro. Believe me, pull up gang in your face, bro. Don't make her put a green light on you and put a no-fly zone on you, bro, because you won't be able to go nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Chief Keef, all that shit over with, man. All that shit over with, man. Drop another rake and watch what happened to you, bro. Believe that, G. Believe that, G. Believe that, G. You know what I mean? Believe that. Believe that. Salute to my DC niggas, man. My real DC niggas, man. My real DC niggas, man. You know what I mean? I got real DC hitters, man. Y'all think this shit a motherfucking game, man. You know what I mean? For real, man. Y'all need to keep playing with that social media, man. Keep playing with that social media. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Hey, man, we ain't no industry niggas, man. We in the street niggas. We itchy. You know what I mean? Keep fucking with me. Hey, like I say, man, little Offset from the Migos, Plug 26 states, man. Keep fucking with it if y'all want to, man. Word law. Word law. M-Town, man. You know what it is. Can't come to these folks. You know, I plug them. Yeah. You know what I mean? I heard the little message y'all say OGKK can't say, man, don't fuck around and treat yourself like that.
Now, the reason I say that, you know, OGKK put an end to the beef is because not too long after this, you know, the Migos actually take a flight out there to LA to link the Glow Gang, and they would actually surprisingly squash the beef. Now, this surprised everybody because it kind of came out of nowhere, you know. It just happened like that. Y'all was just beefing pretty heavy, like, you know, and then just like that, poof. Like, it almost seemed like it was fake. It almost seemed like WWF, like, finding out, like, wrestling is fake. Because it's like, yo, what, like, y'all was just how y'all, you feel me? But it wasn't fake. Some calls probably just must have happened behind the scenes, and, you know, they squashed the beef. Now, this picture, don't get me wrong, this picture is hard. I always love this picture. Like, this picture is so fire, but at the time, it just caught everybody off guard. It caught everybody off guard, but they all look like some young bosses, some young rich niggas, some young gangsters in this picture, you feel me? It's a hard ass pick. Two legendary just two legendary figures, you know, like I feel like this era, I like to call this era the Sosa era. You feel me? Even though he wasn't the only one, like from like 2012 to 2016, that's why most of these videos are gonna be based in that. You feel me? These little beef videos are gonna be based in that era from 2012 to 2016, because that's like, you know, that's like that the beginning of the drill and trap. Like, you feel me? Like when Future and Chief Keef took over the game. I like to call that the Sosa era. You feel me? Because right after that, you had Shy Glizzy coming out, Fetty Wap, Young Thug, who else? Playboy Cardi, Kodak, Young Boy. You feel me? I like to call that from like 2012, 2016. If you came out and you was popping around, that's the Sosa era. Maybe I'll come up with a better name for it, but right now it's the Sosa era. But yeah, man. With this picture, the Migos was born, but not to everybody's approval. You feel me? Capo, he still had his grievances, and this post ain't really make that much sense to me, because like he getting mad at Glory Boys for piecing it up with them, but then he says Keef get a pass. But everybody else that squashed the beef, they probably squashed it because Sosa said so, because he's the one. Because they moving off of him. So how you give him a pass when he the one? Like, I get it. You can't go at Sosa. He the boss. And he the money man. So you don't want to have, you don't want to have fallout with him. But I felt like you should have just said nothing at all if that was the case. You feel me? Because now you kind of ostracizing yourself. Because now you making it look like you going against the boss. But then, like, you saying you coming for everybody else. So who you talk about? Who? Tato? Ball out? When you say everybody else is for you, you talk about Fredo, because you say Keef excused, but ain't the rest of them moving off of Sosa? So I don't see how you get mad at them and give Sosa a pass, but they just listening to Sosa though. But you know, he probably was just in his bag. He probably just in his feelings at the moment, because you know they put hands on him, and now they take him, and now Sosa and them taking pictures with him after they just put hands on. So you know, Capo, he probably just, you know, still feel some type of way off of that, you feel me? Oh yeah, and you remember Pablo? The boss top of DC? Man, he quit jugging and got a job.
Fuck no! DC here, Honcho at Sonic. Fuck no! You the fucking bitch. Your ass is done.
Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. I'm sure that he ain't last long at that job, and I'm sure he went right back to jugging, man. But this is neighborhood hero J Loco Peso, man. Y'all hop in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think. You feel me? Y'all let me know any other beef y'all want to discuss. You know, as always, y'all let me know if y'all knew this much about this beef, or if I just put y'all on. I definitely didn't know this much. I knew I knew about 60 to 70% of this stuff, but there's a couple things I didn't know. You feel me? I learn something new every time I do one of these joints. So, you feel me? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this beef. Who y'all think won? You feel me? Like me personally, I want to say it's a tie. You feel me? I want to say it's a tie because, you know, Migos started strong. They started real strong. Sosa picked a fight with them, and they wasn't even talking about him. Sosa just was off the drugs one day and was listening to their music, and I guess just, you know, had an episode, you know, moved off emotion. He didn't think too much about that decision. He just, you know, and then they was still on business. They came to Chicago twice. They was linking his ops, you know, moving around the city, getting money, dropping music, talking their shit, saying Sosa couldn't come to Atlanta, you know, showing no fear, moving around, you know, punched up on Capo when they came back out there the second time. It was all going good. But then the whole stadium situation happened in DC. You feel me? And you know, you getting your chain snatched in a beef, that would usually cause for, you know, that'll usually be like a knockout. If this was a prize fight, that'll usually be a knockout. You feel me? A total knockout. You getting your chain snatched. But the reason why I don't totally just say Migos lost because of the chain snatch is because that wasn't necessarily, you know, Chief Keef and his guys that did that. You feel me? That was just some dudes that it's not even like they did it on behalf of Chief Keef. I just felt like they did that on their own. And they just knew that the Migos was beefing with Chief Keef at the time, so they just hit them up. Or they probably knew Fat Trail, and they knew Fat Trail was cool with Chief Keef, so they just hit them up. You know, it wasn't like it was Sosa guys that did that. So I can't give that. It's the same thing like how Offset said. He said Boss Top still got Keef chain. You feel me? And I don't necessarily count that because they ran in his crib. He trusted them, and they ran in his crib and took stuff while he wasn't there because of some nonsense. You feel me? So, same way how I can't fully count that against Keef, I can't fully count the Quavo thing. I mean, it's a little bit worse because Quavo was there. You guys took him from him. Keef ain't get his chain taken from him. But you feel me? They still did punch on Capo. They still, you feel me? Even though it was 30 of them and one of them, you feel me? I still give Capo credit for even indulging in that, being by himself. He had a lot of heart to even do that. So it ain't nothing knock against him. But, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm calling it a tie. I'm going to call it a draw. You feel me? Because right after Migos and them got their chain took, they went right ahead and took the picture. You feel me? It wasn't even like, they got some get back and then took a picture. It was just like, all right, it's over, So it was like, they was in the lead, but then Sosa and GBE and them came late and tied the score, man. So I say that Shock Glizzy probably won the last beef against Sosa, but this one, Glory Boys against Migos, I'm going to call it a draw, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. To the next one, I got another one of these joints planned for y'all. I think y'all might like it. But y'all hop in the comments and let me know what y'all thinking, man. And I'm out of here, man.
One nigga tried to go snatch it. Hit him with the Hennessy, broke the glasses.
The Migos out here fighting and shit. Not Quavo. Not Texas.
You didn't see security when you walked up the stage. When I took your attention and seen your face was the move. Hit me with the bottle, that's cool. See me right now, got the tools.
In Mississippi, I'm in North Philly, counting Meek Millie. Bosses make calls, I told you, little nigga, Chief Keef can't come in my city.
A bit from the side, huh? Let me address this shit. We gonna put this shit on World Star, wherever it go. And shout out to anybody who got a problem with my little brother Offset, man. Like I say, bro, you got a problem with me.